And we are live. G'day, how you doing? Welcome to episode number 71 of the Average Man podcast. I touch myself. A little bit in your face if you're just reading that straight off the bat. That was the song that brought us in. I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about me in my private life. I'm talking about the song that brought us in. I touch myself as performed by the performed by Lion Cordial. It's a cover of the Divinals. They did it on like a version last year, I think, sometime last year, and I loved it, man. It just took me, it just knocked me for six when I heard it. I already knew about their song. What song were they playing on the radio? Robbery. But that one really hit me. Took me for six, man. I've been loving Lime Cordial lately. They're a Sydney duo. They call them like a rock pop duo, but I guess they kind of got a bit of calypso and reggae even in there. They use a bit of synth sound. Like obviously there's only two of them, so they flesh their sound out using synths and stuff. They're brothers, I think, too. And no, I just been really feeling it, mate. I got a really cool vibe. Yeah, you're looking for things to listen to during these times at the moment, and that's sort of one that's been really resonating for me. They got a few good tracks. I was actually going to open up with Money. If you see me looking down to the corner here, I've just got my little list sitting here in front of the computer. I was going to start the podcast off with Money, which is another really good track of theirs. But then when I was listening to a few of their tracks just before I sort of hit record, I couldn't go past I Touched Myself, the cover from the Divinals. It's a wicked cover. As you heard on the intro there, really smooth sound, man. So I'm loving that. Robbery, as I said, On Our Own, there's got some really good tracks. They've only got one album out. They dropped it last year. Not sure what the album was called. Where's my phone? I'll be able to figure out what the album was called. The album was I'm Cordial, Inappropriate Behavior. Is that no Permanent Vacation? Inappropriate Behavior is another single of theirs. They got a few singles out in one album. If you liked that opening track, get hold of them and have a listen to them because they're really smooth, man. Like I was listening to them when I went for my run the other day and just sort of vibing out on it. Cool music. Apart from that, not a whole lot else going on. Have had a pretty chilled out weekend, which we kind of needed. We had some beers at a fire pit and a barbecue down the beach last weekend. I missed the podcast last weekend. I don't have a great excuse. I didn't get around to it on the Saturday. I was pecking around at home, and then the Sunday came. It was Mother's Day. We had a birthday party in the morning for a little kid, like a small one. It was all above board, less than 10 people, don't worry. And then we had the Mother's Day stuff. And then Mum went for a nap when we got home, actually about lunchtime. But I was kind of rooted myself, and we had the big UFC event on, the UFC's return. That was on last Sunday. So I didn't even get to watch the whole card because I'm a good father and I didn't do the whole UFC all day on Mother's Day thing. But yeah, I watched the main fights, and what a card that was, man. That was awesome. But yeah, I did that and had a few drinks, and kind of the day got away from me. So no podcast last weekend. But yeah, I had we went for a barbecue with my brother and a fella from work and his little family, my missus, my kids. We went for a barbecue down at Spallbank. Took the Weber down there and had a few beers and cooked up some snaggers, some of the chili cheese snaggers and the Malaysian sausages, and what else did I do? Some chicken kebabs and stuff, all from the Tender Spot Butcher in South over there. We cooked those up and then came back to my house and had a bit of a fire pit here. Kids cooking marshmallows. We had some beers and some tunes going. It was pretty cool, pretty casual, but enjoyed that. Bit of socialising. 1.5 metre distance between all of us. Don't worry, all above board here, mate. And then. Yeah, that was, and the week before, I think I told you. Did I tell you? Oh, I probably did it afterwards. No, I had a blowout. Yeah, the weekend before I had a blowout. So before I did the podcast with Ibs and Kate from Ironworks, I had a big blowout on that Saturday night. Did a 3:30 a.m. Fire pit around my house, which was just ludicrous. It took me days and days and days to get over that. So nothing like that this weekend, just a chill one. The biggest event for the weekend was we went to Kmart yesterday. I said I'd take the kids to Macca's. So we went and got some Macca's. I didn't buy any because I don't eat fast food like that, really. But we went and got the kids some Happy Meals, and Mrs. went into Kmart while I sat in the car with the kids while they ate Macca's. And the funny thing about that fast food is, right, I'm such a prick. I'm such a I'm always like looking at what people are eating and shit like that, and judge myself as well. Like I'm such a obsessed with that kind of shit, and I can't help it. But I judge myself too. So like the kids had some leftover chips from there, or my daughter had some leftover chips from her Happy Meal, and I'm there like I reach into the back and like grab some of her chips, and I munch on those, and I get self-conscious that people walking past in their cars or whatever, people that don't even fucking know me from a bar of soap are like looking at me eating chips, going, look at this pig stuffing his face with fast food. Like nobody in the world cares, but that's the way my twisted mind works. I even feel like I have to justify myself when I tell a story about eating fast food, that it was like just a once off and I was eating my daughter's chips, they weren't mine. I'm such a fuckwit like that. But yeah. Again, you ever get that shame where you're walking through the shopping center and you got like shit in your trolley? Because I got kids, they eat shit sometimes, or it's a weekend. I like to get some lollies and binge out on a Saturday night. Yeah, it's true, I admit it. And you like ever see like people glance at your shopping trolley and you're like, is that prick looking in my trolley, judging me on what I'm eating? And the only reason you'd think that is because you're a fuckwit and you do that to other people. So I guess it's a two-way street there. Definitely looking at other people's trolleys sometimes when I walk past, can't help it, sorry. Yeah, but so we went to Macca's and then the kids ate their food, went into Kmart, cruised around, got a few pieces in there. And this is how spoiled my kids are, right? And I think for the times that we live in and the way childhood and parenting is these days, I think we're way down the more conservative end of the spectrum. But just in general, kids living in Western countries these days are just so spoiled. Like I grew up poor as fuck in the 80s in Karratha. My dad was a Baptist minister. That doesn't pay very much. My mum was a stay-at-home mum, 4 kids. We were broke bastards growing up. We got fuck all. We got birthday present, Christmas present. They were both capped at $50, and that was what you got. And you were pretty, you made sure you were appreciative of it. We take the kids into to Kmart, got them some Maccas, took them into Kmart, got my boy a little $5 dinosaur watch and a new hat, and then a $20 skateboard each. And then my daughter got a little unicorn rat shit toy thing that she chose off the shelf, and I was going to get my boy a little toy as well, but he piss farted around too long and missed out, so he didn't get one. And the tantrums this kid threw all through the shopping center, all the way home, I ended up telling him that I would download him a new game for his iPad. And even still today, he keeps mentioning that we went to Kmart and I didn't get a toy. And it's like, dude, you got a Happy Meal, you got a new hat, you got a new watch, you got a skateboard, you got a new game for your iPad, and you're bitching because you didn't get a $5 toy? Dude, you didn't grow up in the 80s in Australia. We were broke. We didn't get any of that shit. Hand-me-down, second-hand toys. I had hand-me-down clothes from 2 generations above me, my brothers and shit. I was hand-me-down clothes from my sister if they still worked. Far out kids today, man. So that was the big event for us anyway. Shout out to all you people if you got spoiled little Australian kids as well. Fucking, you feel the pain of bringing up kids in an entitled fucking society, trying to walk the line of not being a stingy prick, not giving them every little thing their heart desires and spoiling them, ruining them at a young age. So anyway, that was the big event for the weekend. And then some pottering around in our garden. We've been loving the garden lately. Me and the missus and the kids have been getting involved. We got the veggies going, and obviously we can get outside again now. We've got that bloody ocean view I've told you about multiple times. It's just, you got to appreciate it. I feel like it's our duty that we've got this beautiful little house here. It's our duty to get outside and enjoy it and make sure we appreciate it and spend time in the garden and sit there, have a beer and look at the ocean, because it's a slap in the face for people who don't get those opportunities if we don't do it. So we're doing it. We're doing our part for society, getting out in the garden. Went down there for sunset last night. The kids were playing in the sand. Took some awesome photos of the dog. I don't know if you saw my picture on my Instagram account. That might have been on my normal account, not the Average Man account. who's on my Facebook as well. But I got this a bunch of Pearl shots on my dog. She was just sitting there. She's such a poser. She was beautiful. And I just got these great shots of her with the sunset behind her and the kids playing. It's like, oh man, it took me 30 seconds to walk in. Probably took me a minute. Probably took me a minute to walk here from my house. It's pretty bloody amazing. So we've been getting out and enjoying that, doing our bit for society, you know. So there's that, but really nothing else going on for us. And I do wish there was some more. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of music that's been released, but for myself, I wish there was some more music that I'm really into that had been released during these COVID times, because I love my music. There's nothing that's really been blowing my hair back, blowing the old dreads back too much at the moment. So I'm just rotating older music. I got my let's see if I can do this without ruining shit, because if people are listening, I'm recording this as well. I'm recording all these podcasts now, so that I'm doing this on Zoom until I get a better setup going on. So this is also on YouTube. So I'm just going to lift up the laptop and show people in the corner there. Can you see that? It's a bit dark. That's my record player, two bookshelf speakers, an old retro refurb amplifier on the ground there, and my record player. So I've got that set up, which I've been pretty excited about for a while. So kind of giving the old records a little bit of a spin. I need to start building up my collection actually. But yeah, apart from that, no real new music that's blowing my hair back at the moment. But there's been some really good TV shows and movies. So there's that, and I figure enjoy it while we've got it, because there's going to be a massive lull in the media in like a year from now. Writers' rooms are all empty. They could probably do a lot of writing, obviously virtually online and just through the internet and things like that. But actual filming, casts catching up and doing all that kind of shit is just on hold, obviously, in a lot of places around the world. So TV shows that were being filmed and movies and everything's all being canned, it's put on the shelf. So people can still make music right now, and I'm sure they are. People are collaborating and shit like that. But your TV and your movies and also all your Netflix specials and all that kind of shit, everything's sort of, there's going to be a big gap in it next year, which might not be a bad thing. It might give people time to concentrate on the quality of the shit they're putting out rather than just pumping it out, because that seems to be just the way the industry is at the moment. So maybe it could work out for the best in the short term anyway, but there'll definitely be a bit of a lull in how much content we get, say, this time next year. But what I've been loving is there's some great shows on. A lot of them are second or third seasons of shit I was already watching, but they've just come out at this time right now. So we've been devouring those, like Dead to Me. I think I've spoken about it on the podcast before. It's Christina Applegate. She produces it. And I think she written it and acts in it as well. And it's this cool show. Her husband's died, and then she ends up becoming best friends with the lady who was involved in running him over, and it's real twisted and funny, fucked up kind of dark humor. The Ozarks season 3, which is a bit of in the vein of like Breaking Bad. He's an accountant who runs the books for these drug dealers and drug cartels and shit. So his whole family's involved, and they've been sucked into this world of the organized crime. That's a pretty cool show. It's Jason Bateman, for everyone who knows him, from Arrested Development and a ton of other things. That's pretty cool. We watched Extraction, which is a Netflix, I think straight to Netflix movie with Chris Hemsworth, who's sort of like pretty much my man crush at the moment, to be honest with you. He's like the Australian Rock. He's like our Rock. He's this big, staunch dude. He's a great actor. He's quite funny. If you follow his Instagram and things like that, he's really self-depreciating of himself. He's got that kind of Aussie self-deprecating. That's the word, not self-depreciating. Self-deprecating sort of humor about him as well. Doesn't take himself too seriously, even though he's a complete dude. This big 6'4" fucking tank of a man. He was Thor, obviously, and he's it's a cool movie. So it's the whole special forces guy, sort of a bit rogue, going in and kicking everyone's ass, like say John Wick style, with a bit of, it's like that new age James Bond kind of character. You get like John Wick and maybe I guess the Punishers down that same sort of Vane, some of the other ones. There's a bunch of those ones. He's like a special forces guy. He's kind of a little bit rogue. And he's an Australian guy, so he's an Australian Special Forces guy. You know, his part of the story starts off in the Kimberleys in West Australia, and they're jumping off these cliffs. He's hanging out with these black fellas out bush and stuff. And he's got a lot of real Australianisms about him. It's said, you know, that the action is done in Bangladesh, I think. Bangladesh, yeah, it's between these two. He's involved in this war between these two drug dealers over in Bangladesh and Sri Lanka or India or something, I think. Really, really cool, man. Great action, good acting. The action scenes are really badass. I'm not one for just straight action films, but this one was really good because the drama of it is quite compelling as well, and just his whole Australian sort of vibe about it in that setting, which we've seen 100 times before with the Yanks and with the Poms. It's cool to see it from the Australian point of view, and what better man to play the part. It was a really good movie. I enjoyed that one. Extraction, check that bitch out. Blue Story, one of the boys from work put me on to. That's a great English gangster film about these black English kids from different neighborhoods who grow up together and become really tight, and then just the circumstances of the people that they know from their past and from their different neighborhoods, from their different ends, man, from the ends, their different hoods, like make them draw them, like drive a wedge between them, and then the dynamic between those two guys, and they both sort of turn into real badasses. It's pretty cool. Sad story. I think it's true story too, based on a true story as well, which is even sadder when you watch the movie. It's got some cool. I think Rapman is the producer, and he's a rapper as well, and he does the soundtrack for it too. So that's pretty cool. It's got some cool tracks in there. Blue Story, check that one out. Shout out to Kano who put me onto that. And then I got onto The Gentleman, which is a new Guy Ritchie film, which I hired on iTunes as well, which is, you know, in the vein of Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch and that sort of thing. The Gentleman, one of his sort of English gangster type films where he's got multiple plots all going at the same time, and it's kind of got a bit of black humor involved in it, and good action scenes and all that kind of shit. So I really enjoyed that one as well. The Gentleman was a good watch. And then as far as docos, another one was Afterlife, which is Ricky Gervais written, produced, and starred in as well. Yeah, it's just cool English. That's the second series of its TV show, and his wife has died from cancer, and he's just this miserable prick with his sharp, sardonic humor and stuff like that. And that's how he sort of gets by, and yeah, the story unfolds from there. But that's the premise of it, and that's a pretty good show as well. If you like Ricky Gervais, you like his humor and all that, that's a good one to get into. And then I guess in docos, we've been watching the Last Dance, which is about the final season of the Chicago Bulls all-star lineup when they had Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, they had Luke Longley, bunch of other dudes, and they were multiple championship winning side. And it's just sort of at that last. It actually goes through the whole career, but it's specifically focusing on that last season when they were all together, 98, I think it was. That's pretty cool, man. If you're a Jordan fan, like who the fuck's not? So that's a pretty good documentary to get into as well. Excuse me, just having a lunchtime beverage. Yeah, that's about it for all that kind of media and the life of Dave bullshit. I guess we'll just quickly cover over how far in are we? 20 minutes, plenty of time. We might as well cover over the latest COVID developments. Yeah, because that's what you do in the COVID times. No one else is doing anything else exciting in life, so we talk about restrictions and the state of the world at the moment amongst this weird, fucked up virus time. So basically, I'm not going to go into all the details because I think most people are all over this shit anyway. I'm actually probably one of the people who's not over it as much as others. I've stopped paying attention. Like I said, I think I said previously, I stay up to date enough that I need to for my job, but it affects me directly at work. So I know that we're doing the right thing there, and everything else. I've just kind of let it go. People tell you shit anyway. I'm not going anywhere at the moment. I'm just working and we're hanging out. So it's not really a big issue to me at the moment. I'm just sick of it, kind of drowned out by it, but we do need to cover over it. It's weird. Just ignore it, pretend it's not going on. So I'll just run through the latest plan. Oh, that was weird. My thing just kicked me out for a second and said there's an update available. Still recording though. Anyway, So I'll just run through these latest developments. So basically, the government have unrolled a plan, phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're in phase 1 at the moment, as of I think it was April 27th or 20th, something along those lines. April 27th, yeah, that sounds about right. Which is the first lot of easing of restrictions. So I've got it all here on the old coronavirus app, which I didn't even download. Just I think my missus did, and we share the same cloud, so it all came onto my phone as well. Phase 1 in place from 27th of April 2020. Indoor and outdoor non-work gatherings of up to 10 people. Outdoor personal training without shared equipment. We spoke about that the other fortnight ago with Kate and Ibs from Ironworks. Recreational activities in compliance with travel restrictions and the 10-person rule. So you can have picnics in the park, fishing, boating, hiking, and camping. Home open displays, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit weird. Who gives a fuck? Phase 2, which comes into effect as of tomorrow, Monday the 18th. And all this is subject to people still complying with the social distance rule and good hygiene and whatnot. Indoor and outdoor non-work gatherings of up to 20 people. Weddings and funerals up to 20 outside, 30 inside. Dining out, cafes and restaurants with meal service, including within pubs, bars, clubs, hotels, and casino, up to 20 patrons. With that, cafes and restaurants with meal service, including within pubs, I believe that means there's speculation that means if you want to go have a beer, you have to buy food as well. I'm not sure about that. I think those details will roll out. I guess when you get there, they'll tell you, they'll let you know. But I think that's what that's going to mean. So there's going to be, theoretically, there's going to be all these people sitting around having beers at pubs with a bunch of uneaten hot chips sitting in the middle of the table because you're going to have to order food every time you get a drink. So you go buy a beer and you get a bowl of chips as well. So I guess that's just to slow people down because I was wondering how they were going to handle that whole situation of letting people back into the pubs and then not just foaming at the mouth and going, and going out and just going mad because they've been cooped up inside for fucking 2 months. So I guess that's the way they're going to handle it. Yeah, you can go to the pub, but freaking microphone's slipping down. You can go to the pub, but you got to buy food, and only 20 people allowed in at the time. So they're just going to ease us back in, which is probably not a bad idea, especially down in the city. There's crazy bastards in the city, you know what they get like. So I think that's what that means. Up to 20 patrons. It's going to be hard for places in down Perth to open up with those restrictions on. Not so bad for us up here. You can go to a pub. Many of the pubs in town up here on any given day, and there's only 20 people there anyway. So I guess that's just going to be the norm, capping it off at that. Regional travel. So, yeah, they're encouraging everybody to go back to work. Regional travel. Kimberleys are staying shut. You can't go to the Kimberleys, you can't move around freely within the Kimberleys. You can't go even drive through there. Pilbara, Gascoyne, Midwest, we can all intermingle except for one blanked out patch of the East Pilbara, which is a biosecurity zone still. Goldfields and Esperance area, they can all move around. No one gives a fuck. Anyway, together, except for one biosecurity area up the top of their border there as well. And then the Wheat Belt, Great Southern, Southwest, Perth and Peel region, they can all move around freely. That's the best spot. They get to do basically everything they want down there now. They can all move around freely as well. I'm not sure what the deal is with the Kimberleys. They're still terrified, I guess, about, and that's what's happening with the East Pilbara and top of the Goldfields, Esperance region too. I guess that's where all the Indigenous communities and stuff like that are there, and they're just really, really still stressing the fact that they don't want this thing to hit those communities. And and cause havoc out there. Recreation and fitness, non-contact community sports up to 20 people. Indoor, outdoor classes, minimal shared equipment up to 20 people. Public pools, 20 people per pool. Community places of worship are open. Libraries as well. Community facilities up to 20 people. And that's phase 2 coming out tomorrow. Then phase 3, they'll think if everything goes good, they'll move on to phase 3 probably about 4 weeks after that, and that's going to be further increasing number of people allowed in indoor and outdoor non-work gatherings, including cafes, restaurants, weddings, funerals. Further relaxation of travel restrictions. Further relaxed for gyms, health clubs, and indoor sports centres. So gyms will actually be able to open properly, just open up the normal gym floor rather than just these boot camps and shit they'll be doing at the moment. Contact sports, public playgrounds, outdoor gym equipment, skate park, zoos, all that kind of shit. Cinemas will all be opening up with gathering limits. And then stage 4, if everything goes well, will be the last restriction. That should be life as we know it back to normal. So things are happening. We're moving along through it. At the moment, the camping thing's pretty big up here. The weather's great. It actually was perfect timing for us. They started allowing camping again, opening some of the national parks and campgrounds around the place. So you can go camping now. And you can tell from around town, speaking to people, seeing them, camper trailers and caravans and all shit like that moving around on Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays. People are out. Campgrounds are full. It's all happening. I hope they're not too full. We're going camping. We're going to Running Waters in a couple of weeks. I'm going to take the Friday off and get our asses out there a little bit early so we can get ourselves a good spot, and hopefully it's not packed out there. We want to get away from people, but it's a bit more of a trek. So hopefully we get a good run out at Running Waters. And hopefully the water's warm. I'm interested to see that, because they say that water stays the same temperature thereabouts all year round because it's spring fed, so it's not so affected by the outside temperature, because it's always coming up from underground. So that'll be interesting to see if that is the case. If it's nice there, it'll be cold in the mornings and the evenings. I know that, so we'll be getting big fire going out there. And it's just been good, man. Like I finally started training in the mornings again. This whole period with the gyms closed, I've been training in the afternoons and sort of struggling to get my motivation, just going through the movements a little bit. So training in the mornings this last week, and I've got my kettlebells finally as well. That's all started making me feel a bit more motivated, a bit more back to normal, rocking up to work and being like ready to go for the day, rather than getting there and I'm a bit tired and slowly get myself going, and then get home from work and I've got to squeeze in a workout before the kids are home, or when they are home, which is not ideal. So that's been a good change in pace for me this last week, and looking forward to getting back into my workouts again this week. Now I can train outside. It's nice out there now. So I'm just doing some kettlebells and some chin-ups and push-ups and sit-ups, like bodyweight exercises and stuff like that. Bit of skipping, bit of running, and starting to feel good again. So that's cool. I'm feeling a bit more motivated as well. And we'll see how we go. I might not even need to join back up at the gym this time of the year. I might be able to just do some stuff at home. And there's a mixed martial arts gym opening up soon. I spoke to girl Rachel from our daycare, and her partner, I've got a blanking on his name. Sorry, dude, I'm blanking on your name. I'll have to get the information and put it out there properly next time around. But they're going to open up a mixed martial arts gym over in South Hedland, the old church there on Mitchie Crescent. So they'll be doing some jiu-jitsu and some Muay Thai and stuff like that. And I'm actually really interested in and they're going to be doing classes from like 4 a.m. in the morning and then in the afternoons as well. So I'm looking forward to maybe trying out a bit of jiu-jitsu. I've been talking about that for a while and seeing maybe even if my boy might be interested in coming along and having a go at that too. So that's pretty cool, new development. Something I might get involved in this year instead of just lifting weights at the gym while the weather's nice. I might get outside and pursue a few other avenues. I joined up as well to the Fittest in Hedland competition. Shout out to Ibs and Kate from Ironworks. So that actually, the first workout drops today. I'm gonna look at their Instagram quickly while I'm on here. So Ironworks. the new workout drops. First workout drops today, and basically you do the workout, you record yourself, put it up on the forum, and everybody, there's a winner for each category each week, I think it is, for a month, with prizes to be handed out as well. So basically, you go on. I can't see the information for the workout right now, but I will get onto it. Let's see. Yeah, basically. Anyway, I'm going to find out where that workout is. But yeah, you do the workout, you record yourself, you put it in, and there's based on like form, time, reps, that kind of thing. There's prizes, and yeah, I'm not sure exactly where to find the workout out. I need to figure that information out and get back to you on that one. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty interested in that. There's another thing to get me motivated, to get me back into my fitness and everything at this stage of the game. What else, man? I mean, I said my boy's been riding his bike lately like a little champion. We went for a ride this morning. I went out on my skatey. That was cool. Thing we have never done before. Like, it's always been me helping him ride and running along next to him, making sure he's okay and comfortable and stuff like that. And I took my skateboard out this morning. We cruised from our house down to Cemetery Beach, and the little champ rode the whole way on his own. And I skated along sort of next to him, behind him. But that was pretty cool, like pretty proud dad moment, being able to skate along next to my boy while he rides his bike. That's the first time I've ever been able to do anything like that. So he's coming to that age now where I can start. I'll probably be able to go in another year from now for a run, a full-blown run with him, and him just ride his bike along next to me and stuff like that, which is kind of cool, pretty exciting. And then my daughter, she's being a bit more stubborn about learning it, but we'll get there as well. She's my little princess anyway. She should be fine. We'll get there when we get there with my little girl. But yeah, it's a cool thing for the dad to be able to do that with his boy, go for a skate and his boy right along next to him. So I'm pretty happy about that. I guess the last big thing I got to say is that we're looking into buying the house that we're in. Anybody that knows me and listens to this podcast knows we're in a really mint spot. We love it here. It's hospital housing at the moment. And I guess we're just sort of settling in at the moment. We're going to be in town for a while now at this stage. So I guess we want to become real locals and buy a house, but I don't want to buy just any old house that wants to feel right for me and the spot that I'm in is a mint spot. So we're looking into that at the moment, and there's a few moving parts there we need to get sorted out, but that's a possibility for us. So we could be becoming homeowners in Hedland and become true locals in the next few months, and we'll see how that goes and watch this space. And I'm pretty bloody excited about that. There's a whole bunch of things that go on with that. Rates and insurance up here is quite crazy and stuff like that. And but we get help from the hospital if we do buy a house here in town, which is quite cool. And I'm looking around the house and I've got all these renovation ideas in my head, and I just want to do something. I want to work on my own house. I get itchy feet. I could come home from work on weekends. I could be just motivated, getting the hell outside, doing shit, knocking out walls, putting indoors, building decks, just doing shit because it'd be my own house. So I'm pretty excited about that prospect, and that would mean that, yeah, we are in Hedland for the foreseeable future, if that were the case. So that's exciting, man. And I will get that information sorted out about the fittest in Hedland on Works. Check out their Facebook page. Maybe they've got the workout up on here. Sorry, this isn't great podcasting. First workout released. Okay, they haven't released it yet. Link in bio, PM us to find out more. Yeah, I don't think it's been released yet. So as soon as that's released, I'm going to go online, figure it out. Do that. Put it up on my Instagram as well, and just get involved, because they're raising money from all the membership, from all the people who join, and I should shout that out as well. Registration for the competition is open for another week, I think, or maybe week or two, even though the first workout is today. So you can still register for the next, few days. And the money from registration, I think it was $50, something like that. Money from registration goes, half of the profit's going to go back into local businesses around the area who've obviously been hit quite hard by this whole COVID thing. And there's a bunch of businesses who've chipped in things for the prizes, as well. If I go back onto their page, I'm sure they'll show us all that. So there's a bunch of local businesses that have chipped in. I'm going to give them a bunch of stubby holders that can get handed out with prizes as well. But they've had stuff from Catch and by Carlos, They've got help from Shafted Spearfishing, Beards and Shears, Smirky Sports, Headland Accounting and Finance, Water Choice. Who else is on there? There's a bunch of Hunt Street Inc. Man, there's heaps there. Go check it out. Desert Goddess, Ansu Yoga, Boss Cuts. There's a heap of them, man. People have been getting behind this whole thing, and they're going to help put money back into the community and small businesses and stuff like that. So big shout out to the guys from Ironworks. I'm on board. Get yourself over there, register as well. You're helping out the community, and you help motivate yourself, get back into shape, get back into, the right frame of mind as gyms are opening them up and we're getting out of these crazy COVID times. I guess that's all I've got to say for now. That's long enough. People have heard me bullshit for long enough. Episode number 71 of the Average Man podcast. I touch myself. Over and out. See ya. Peace.